Good morning, those from the hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show, and today it's Free Game Fridays, man. It's your live Q&A. But in the meantime, we're also going to be talking about success tips for growing a successful business as you guys are getting your questions in. So I'm super excited to be with you live and in living color today. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and your brand, smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the local Biz Marketing Pros studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri, where all we want to do is see you win, no matter what. If you're looking to optimize your online presence, increase your lead flow, grow your revenue so you can expand your operation and contribute more to the communities that you serve, then I need you to go to localbizmarketingpros.com. You can grab our free online marketing checklist for small businesses, or you can even book a free marketing audit and strategy session where we'll walk you through some of the things that we're doing for our clients to help them win in this game of business. So today we're talking 9 success tips for growing a successful business, right? It's one thing to get a business started. It's another thing altogether to grow that thing and make it happen. But today is also Friday. So y'all know what that means. It is Free Game Fridays. That's right. Ask your questions, put them in the comments as it relates to your specific business. It is your time to be selfish, people. Get help with what you are struggling with in the area of brand building and marketing for your own business. And I would love to be able to answer any of those questions for you. A couple quick announcements, ladies and gentlemen. It has now been cleared by the little lady that Monetize My Life Academy is coming back. We're preparing for a soft launch towards the end of this month. And some of you guys might be saying, well, Cortez, I hear on your intro, you talk about Monetize My Life Academy a lot, but what is it? Well, it is for those who want to literally monetize their lives. I wrote a book in 2018, Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit with little to no startup costs. And now I'm putting together everything that you need in a mastermind style program that's going to allow you to execute on those 4 things that I wrote in that book. I'm super excited to be bringing that back because we can fulfill on it in a way that we've never been able to do it. We've got the tools, we got the resources, we got the templates, we got the training, everything you need. If you love basketball, for instance, and you want to build a brand around your passion for basketball, right? We can teach you how to do that, right? If you love diet and nutrition and you want to build a brand around helping people eat healthier, yeah, we got everything that you need to help you do that as well. No matter what that passion is, if you want to turn it into a business, if you want to build assets and products, ebooks, courses, we got you. We got you. So I'm excited. So be on the lookout for an invitation to come check that out live and in living color. Also, weekly over the shoulder training, right? You guys know that I'm always in the trenches working. And that's one of the things that you get from me is you get me teaching what I'm doing, not what I think I should be doing, not what somebody told me I should be doing, not something that I learned 20 years ago. No, I'm teaching what I'm doing. And I'm actually going to start doing that once a week live and allowing you to look over my shoulder as I'm doing some of the things so that you guys can see in real time how to make digital marketing work for your small business. So I'm excited about that. So also be on the lookout for that as well. And I think that is it, man. So it's time to officially start the show. Y'all know how we start the show. We start the show with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: excuses are not valid. They are conjured up, fabricated lies, people. And how do you stop the lies? With the truth. You got to be honest with yourself. A lot of us are telling ourselves that we don't have time. That's a lie. You got time. You got 24 hours every day. Chances are you might need to take that time from one place that has been allocated and put it somewhere else, right? It's all about priorities. You have time. Some of us are telling us we don't have the skill. Well, we got the internet. Everything that you want to learn how to do is on the internet for free. Now, if you want to coach and mentor that walk side by side with you, you might have to pay for that. But the information itself, it's free. It's right there on the internet. So you can learn whatever it is that you need to learn and do whatever it is you need to do so that you can have whatever it is that you want to have. Some of us are saying we don't have the support. That's a lie. There's only one person required for you to believe in order for you to win in this life, and that is you, my friend. There's only one person required to support you, and that is you, my friend. You got the support. You got the time. You got the resources, right? Another of my favorite quotes is the Facebook question posed quite frequently: do you lack resources or do you lack resourcefulness? One thing growing up in the ghetto, growing up poor, fourth born of 6 children, raised by a single mom on welfare, one thing that growing up in that environment does to a person who is determined is it makes you resourceful. Now, if you're not determined, it'll probably just make you hopeless. It'll probably just make you someone who makes excuses all the time. But if you're determined, right, it makes you resourceful. I learned how to use a butter knife as a flathead screwdriver, and it wasn't almost anything that I couldn't take apart and put back together and fix with a butter knife and a steak knife and a pair of pliers, right? So stop making excuses, ladies and gentlemen. They're just lies. They're just conjured up. They're just a way for you to cover up your fears, cower down, hide from yourself. No. How do you stop the lies? How do you stop the excuses? You stop them with the truth. Become self-aware. If you're lacking a resource, then be truthful about it and then ask yourself, where can I go and get that resource? If you're lacking time, be truthful about it. Am I really working 16 hours a day and sleeping 8? Or am I devoting a lot of time to some shenanigans that is pulling me away from my dreams? You combat the lies with the truth. Be honest about where you are. Be honest about where you want to go. Be honest about what it's going to take to get you there, and then start going down that path. That is quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Local Business Marketing Mastermind. That is our group on Facebook. This is where I'm going to actually be doing the live over-the-shoulder training. For those of you who are in that group, you're going to be able to see me and connect with me live as I'm doing my weekly training right inside of this group. I put the link in the comments and the show notes for you to click on, ask to join, answer the questions. I'm going to let you in. As long as you're not coming in there to spam everybody in the group, you are more than welcome. But you also have to bring value to the group. You have to ask your questions. You have to shout out some of your wins. You have to be willing to contribute, because we're all about helping each other optimize our online presence, increase our lead flows, grow our revenue so we can expand our operations and contribute more to the communities that we serve. Your dollar is better spent on Main Street than it is on Wall Street. So I want to help build up small local businesses so we can make bigger impacts and bigger change in our community. So join that group if you about that life. Today is all about you guys. If you got questions about branding, marketing, business in general, social media, any of that stuff about your business, don't ask me general questions. Say, Cortez, I'm stuck here. What could I do about that, right? And if I can help, I can help. Sometimes I can't. I have to point you to some resources, but like I said, I am quite resourceful. So I have some resources that could help you in that. And in the meantime, for those, if you don't have any questions, then we're going to go over these 9 tips for growing a successful business. This is an article that I found on Investopedia. Put the link to that in the comments and the show notes as well. So let's run it real quick. Number 1, and I'm so glad that this is number 1. As you guys know, the things that I bring to this show are the things I am studying for my own personal journey as an entrepreneur, and going from a solopreneur business, a coaching and consulting network marketing style business, home-based business, to a full-fledged B2B digital marketing agency where I'm building a team, and it's a completely different world for me. So as I'm studying and growing myself and getting acclimated to that world, I bring you the information that I'm actually using to grow. And this is a huge one for me. Number 1, you want to grow a successful business, get organized. This is huge, right? To achieve business success, you need to be organized. It will help you complete tasks and stay on top of things to be done. A good way to organize is to create a to-do list each day. As you complete each item, check it off your list. This will ensure that you're not forgetting anything and completing all the tasks that are essential to the survival of your business, right? If you guys could see my office, I got a whiteboard over here, got a calendar over here, got a cork board over here, got another whiteboard over here, and I'm always just doodling away, man, and putting things on, wiping things off. And I have to see constant reminders of what I'm supposed to be doing. One of the gifts that God has blessed me with is the gift of imagination, right? And as you know, God created this entire world on polarity, right? Everything that is a gift is a curse, or has the potential to be the curse. Everything that has the potential to be a curse can be a gift as well. And the gift of imagination is wonderful, as I can see things that other people cannot see. But the curse of imagination is always seeing things that other people can't see, and it is incredibly difficult to focus. Elon Musk described it this way, and I so relate to this definition. He was on the Joe Rogan show one time, and Joe Rogan was asking him about, his creativity and where it comes from. He said, it's like having a never-ending explosion going on in your head at all times. And I was like, man, somebody else gets it. Somebody else gets it, right? Because my creative genius has me seeing things that other people can't see, but I can't turn it off. And it's like a never-ending explosion always going on in my head at all times. So unless I get organized, I can't build a multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate being all over the place. I got to centralize my focus. I got to get organized. And I'm learning that as I'm dealing with businesses, and pitching my services to them, and some of them are turning me down, and they've got some feedback for me. So I'm just learning, I'm growing, and I'm sharing that with you guys because I want you to understand it's all part of the process, right? It says there are many software as a service, SaaS tools exist to increase organization. Tools like Slack, Asana, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and other newer additions. That being said, a simple Excel spreadsheet will meet many of a business's organizational requirements. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I have to make a more permanent habit, because I do notice that I'm more productive. So I wear a Fitbit on my wrist, right? And one of the things that I do when I'm really focused and I'm locked in is I have my day laid out, and that's another challenge for me. Is Jim Rohn says you never should start anything before it's finished, right? So I should have had today laid out yesterday. Now I'll be honest, I had some of it, more than half of it laid out before I went to bed last night, but really getting detailed and meticulous about laying out your day, laying out your tasks before you start them. And that way, when I do that and I do a good job of that, then I can set the timer on my Fitbit to I'm allocating X amount of minutes to this task, right? I've got to help one of my clients finish their book project. So today, I'm going to allocate 45 minutes to finish up the formatting and assign the ISBN number and that kind of stuff, right? Should take me about 30 minutes, but I'm allocating 45 and for some interruption, I'm gonna have to reach out to the client and all that kind of stuff. But then when I set that Fitbit, it really locks me in on focusing that entire 45 minutes. I won't check Facebook 1,000 times. I won't check my phone 1,000 times. I'll be locked in. So what are some hacks that you guys are doing or can be doing to help you get more organized, right? Got my wife helping with some of the scheduling of the podcast and things of that nature. So I'm working, y'all. I'm working, and y'all gonna see a more productive version of Cortez Hustle, and I'm excited about it, man. So number one, you're trying to either start or grow a successful business. The first thing that you have to do is get organized, right? Number two on the list of 9 tips for growing a successful business is keep detailed records, right? Keep detailed records. All successful businesses keep detailed records. By doing so, you will know where the business stands financially and what potential challenges you could be facing. Just knowing this gives you time to create strategies to overcome those challenges, right? Most businesses are choosing to keep 2 sets of records, one physical and one in the cloud. By having records that are constantly uploaded and backed up, a business no longer has to worry about losing their data. The physical records exist as a backup, but more often than not, it is used to ensure that other information is correct. And when we say keep detailed records, it goes beyond just the financial records, because as you know, business owners pay different taxes, right? That puts you in a different category. So you should be keeping detailed records there. But you should be keeping detailed records on everything. My mentor, Brian Bean, often say, you can't measure what you don't track, and you can't grow what you don't measure. So you should have records of everything in your business, particularly those things that move the needle. Right before I jumped on here this morning, I was looking at my SEO report. So my team every month provides me a SEO report. That stands for search engine optimization. It tells me how well my business and my website and other online assets are performing in the marketplace when people are searching for what I do. That's a record. I'm keeping a record, and I'm tracking how well my website is optimized for certain keywords, how well my Google My Business profile is standing out when people are looking for a web developer near me, or they're looking for a digital marketing agency. How does my presence online stack up against the competition, right? You should be tracking and keeping records of your lead generation process, right? And then what is your conversion rate? How many visitors do you need to get to your website or to your social media profiles to get someone to leave you their name, phone number, and email address? How many people that leave you their name, phone number, and email address does it take before one comes out the bottom of the funnel as a paying customer? You should be keeping record of that, because if you're tracking it, you can then measure it. If you can measure it, then you can strategize about growing or improving it. But if you don't know what those numbers are to begin with, then how can you strategize on how to make them better? How do you strategize on how to increase your conversion rate, right? Dr. Myron Golden says there's 4 moves that you can make. He calls them boss moves, and radically transform your business. Number 1, double your lead offers, right? And when he says leads, he said, listen, there's 2 ways. You can, if you have 100 leads coming in a month, you can double it to 200 a month. And if you just did that, you should double your revenue. The other way that you can do it is maybe you don't double your leads. Maybe you got 100 leads coming in, but every month you're only converting 10 of them. Well, if you improve your conversion rate, so instead of doubling from 100 to 200, you double your conversion rate from 10% to 20%. That will double your revenue, right? There's 3 other moves. Go look up Dr. Myron Golden and get his book, Boss Moves. But lead generation is one of those things that I'm starting to become obsessed with and starting to track better for my business, because that moves the needle. We are all in the customer acquisition business. So tracking your leads and keeping a record of conversion rates and things of that nature and looking at them on a regular basis and seeing how you can improve is a game changer for most businesses. In fact, it's a game changer for all businesses, but you got to be disciplined to do it. And I know it ain't easy, right? So we're talking 9 tips. Now, if you guys have questions about how this applies to your business or anything that I can recommend, post your questions or comments in the comment section. And I would love to help you specifically about anything that you're dealing with in your business. But now it is time for 1 minute motivation. If you are new to the Cortez Hustle Show, every episode we do something called 1 minute motivation. That's where we share a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I ask you to comment your takeaways. I'm going to give a couple takeaways as well. So let's get to 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
I'm not saying what you've been through has been easy, and I'm not saying that what you've been through you can just forget overnight, but I am saying that you got to stop making that as an excuse for you not to move forward. There comes a time when you have to let it go. The trap, they're living their life, right? They're living their life. They offended you, they hurt you, but they're still moving forward. You're the one caught in ruins. You're the one caught in trap. You have to let it go. Forgiveness is the hardest thing you will ever face in your journey. But forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you.
Woo-wee. Man, so y'all know, if y'all been tuning in, we've been on this forgiveness kick with the 1 minute motivation. And if you don't take anything else away from any work that I ever do, just understand that if you can find it in you to forgive, if you can find the resources, if you can find the strength, the courage to face the hurt that you're dealing with and heal from it and let it go, it change your life, man. It will change your life. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you, my friend. It's for you. It's to help you move forward, to help you move on, to help you walk through this life lighter on your feet. Some of you guys know a little bit about my story. I was shipped away from my mom at the early age of about 4 years old, and it was a struggle for me because even though I moved in with my grandma and my aunts and uncles at 4 years old, I didn't know those people. They were strangers to me. They were family, but they were strangers, right? And if you know anything about child development, the most critical times for a young person is that first 5 years. And I moved around a lot, and that didn't do me any justice. That alone, so I suffered from neglect. And because of the neglect and the emotion of wanting to connect with someone, my uncle actually used that because he was the only one that showed me any attention, and he took that and he perverted that and ultimately molested me as a kid. And I just remember walking through life with the pain and the hurt of that, and not knowing how to deal with it and what it caused me to do. And sometimes we look back in life, we say we wish certain things wouldn't have happened, but it was because of that in order to deal with the pain and the trauma, I learned to get into my imagination, right? And I believe it was at that time God was revealing to me the gift of imagination, right? Uh, but I remember I used to always have trouble sleeping, right? And from the time I mean, I just couldn't sleep, and I know now it was because of that. And I remember the first time that I told my mom, and I told my brothers and my sisters what had happened to me. Man, I slept like a log, right? And I had already decided that I was going to forgive him, right? But I hadn't decided to deal with the pain and the trauma. And that part really messed me up for years and years and years, right? And ultimately I did face him. He apologized, and I started my healing process. But it was a long road, but it doesn't, none of that was for him. It was for me. It was for my wife. It was for my 5 sons. It was for you guys. What I'm doing now, and using my voice to help impact the lives of other people. Right? See. Sometimes one person could cause millions of people to miss their blessings. You're holding on to bitterness, hurt, harm, pain, unforgiveness because of someone wronged you. And that one person, because you're holding on to that bitterness, has literally put your gift in a box and buried it, because you can't operate in your gift if you are holding on to unforgiveness, bitterness, and pain. You can't. You just cannot. So stop letting those who hurt you in the past, stop letting the pain and the trauma, stop letting those things basically stifle and drown out your light. Because that's what I was doing. I spent the first 25, 26 years of my life trying really hard to convince the world that I really was who I was pretending to be, because I didn't know how people would react if they knew what had happened to me. So I was pretending to be something that I was not. And you know what's interesting about that? God has got people around you that's waiting to meet your authentic self. And their healing, their growth, their uncovering of their purpose in life could be tied to you, the authentic you. And y'all could be passing each other every single day. Like my wife and I passed each other every single day in high school, from 88 to 92, passed each other every day. But because I wasn't walking in my authentic self, she didn't see me as her husband 2 years later, right? So do not let people who have caused you hurt, who have betrayed you, who have harmed you, don't live in that resentment, right? Learn how to forgive for you. I'm not saying that you have to forget, but you do have to let it go so that you can heal, right? Can't heal at a wound and constantly be digging in it and picking at it, right? That ain't how it works. So you do have to go in there one good time, and you have to sanitize it, you have to clean it up, and you have to create room for it to heal. And that's the same thing that goes with you if you've been hurt emotionally or any other kind of way. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Automated Leads Machine, our AI assistant that helps you scale your cold outreach campaign faster, cheaper, and easier. If you want to get your irresistible offer in front of more people, check out localbizmarketingpros.com and our Automated Leads Machine system. It is a flat out game changer if you are literally trying to grow and scale your business. So we're talking 9 tips on growing a successful business today. If you guys got questions or you want to chime in on the 1 Minute Motivation, then feel free to do so. If not, then I'm just going to continue going down this list. So we're talking 9 tips for growing a successful business. Number 1 is get organized. Number 2 is keep detailed records. Number 3 on the list, analyze your competition, right? Analyze your competition. Competition breeds the best results. To be successful, you can't be afraid to study and learn from your competition. After all, they may be doing something right that you can implement in your business to make more money. Here's the key, y'all. Success leaves clues, right? Now, you don't copy someone else's style, but you can model, right? There are certain things that flat out work. For instance, all big brands have one thing in common. They have celebrity endorsers, right? So Nike went and got Michael Jordan, Reebok went and got Allen Iverson, New Balance has Kawhi Leonard, right? Under Armour has Steph Curry, right? You look at the big soft drink brands. Coca-Cola has its people. Pepsi had Michael Jackson, right? Like, why do you think they all have celebrities endorsing their brands? Because it works, y'all. You got to look at your competition and see what's working. And then you model what's working and you do it with your own unique style and flair. How you analyze competition will vary between sectors. If you're a restaurant owner, you may simply be able to dine at your competitor's restaurant. Ask other customers what they think and gain information that way. However, you could be a company with much more limited access to your competitors, such as a chemicals company. In that case, you would work with a business professional and accountant to go over not just what the business presents to the world, but any financial information you may be able to get on the company as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can look at what others in your industry are doing and see what's working. And you don't have to do everything that they're doing that's working. Sometimes all you need is 1 or 2 little pieces of information. Oh, you know what? That's the connection between this strategy and that strategy. So when I tried this strategy alone, it didn't work. I tried that strategy alone, it didn't work. But the connector between the 2 strategies that make it all fit together, I was missing that. And I see how my competition is pulling it together. Now, here's how I interpret that. And here's how I will bring something similar to the marketplace, right? Model, don't copy. But studying the competition is just the way of doing business, right? What works, and then how could we take what's working and put our own spin on it, right? So number 4, we're talking 9 tips for growing a successful business, right? This is important, not only for growing a business, but for also starting a business. Understand the risks and the rewards, right? Too many of us lean too far, right? All we see is risks, so we don't take any action. And then some of us, like your boys, is I'm an eternal optimist. All I see is rewards, so I don't see some of the I don't prepare for some of the downfalls and obstacles that could always get in the way sometimes. But you gotta weigh them both, right? What are the risks and the rewards? The key to being successful is taking calculated risks. That means I see the pitfalls, but I'm doing calculations, weighing, is the reward greater by a factor of 2x, 3x, 10x, 20x, and makes the risk worth it, right? You got to take calculated risks to help your business grow. A good question to ask is, what is the downside? What is the downside? If you can answer this question, then you know what the worst case scenario is. Then you can build some contingencies, right? This knowledge will allow you to take the kinds of calculated risks that can generate tremendous rewards. Understanding risk and rewards includes being smart about the timing of starting your business. For example, did the severe economic disclosure of 2020 provide you with an opportunity or an impediment when it comes to your business, right? If I ask you what's the main key to being successful in real estate, you're going to say location, location, location. In business, it's timing, timing, timing. And I don't care who you are and what you're trying to do, it's always a good time to go into business. Always, right? We live in a world where opportunities are endless. They're everywhere. See, when you understand the at the core of entrepreneurship is 2 things: service and problem solving. At the core of entrepreneurship, it's 2 things: it's service, right, and problem solving. We live in a world that is always changing. So as the world is constantly changing, problems are constantly cropping up, right? A good entrepreneur is a problem solver. The best entrepreneurs are problem hunters. They're seeking out problems. They're anticipating problems. They're seeing problems happen before they even happen. And they are preparing their solutions for those problems long before that even happens, right? All right, my man Mark says, can you break down analytics that you're tracking? Yes, Mark, I can. Let me finish this thought on point number 4, understanding risk and reward. So you when it comes to risk and rewards, you're weighing your is this a possible, and is it possible for me with the skill sets and the tools and the resources I have access to? And is it worth me maybe even going out, getting some additional resources, tools to make all of this work? So you can't be too far left or right. You can't only see risks, right? And you can't only see rewards. You have to be able to see them both. And that's the key to having success, right? So, some people will say that I never ever, they don't want people, negative people around them, right? No, you need some negative people around you, right? When it comes to making business decisions and things of that nature, sometimes we don't want people we want everybody to be in agreement. Yes, 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 yes. We're gonna win. We're gonna make all of this money. You need one or two people saying, "Yeah, but." There's nothing wrong with a yeah, but, because when you create a plan and you understand that there is potential for the train to go off the tracks, then you make contingencies for if or when the train goes off the track, this is how we get it back on. But if you don't have that yeah, but in the back of your head, here's what could go wrong so that you can create a plan for fixing it. If it goes wrong, you're going to be SOL, period. If something goes wrong and you had never anticipated anything going wrong, you're going to be more than likely, you're going to give up. Like the great Mike Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I watched Floyd Mayweather, a clip of him fighting Sugar Shane Mosley, right? And there was 2 times where Sugar Shane Mosley caught him clean, and you saw Floyd's knees buckle. But you know what happens when you prepare for potentially getting hit in the mouth and getting rocked? I ain't never seen a boxer clutch and hold on so fast and so tight that I seen when Floyd got rocked by Sugar Shane. He grabbed that man's arm so fast, he held on so tight, and he got his bearings, and we know what happened after that, right? But that came because there was a preparation of not being a pessimist, oh, I'm going to lose the fight. No, this is a hard puncher, and he might catch me clean. And if he does, how am I going to react? How am I going to respond? That's how you have to be in business. Hey, I'm going to build this multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate, and I know it's not going to be easy. I'm anticipating challenges to show up in my life, right? So that's risk versus reward. Weigh them well without being too emotional and without exaggerating one or the other. Don't exaggerate the rewards and don't exaggerate the risks. Call them what they are, and if it makes sense, if the rewards far outweigh the risk, then go ahead and take that chance. So Mark says, can you break down the analytics that you are tracking? Absolutely, Mark. So I was literally just looking at my SEO report, and I'll share some of these things with you that, let me see if I still have it up. I'm gonna have to go get it up from my team. One of the things that we're tracking is how am I competing when certain search terms are being put into Google in my area. Like if someone is searching for a digital marketing agency, St. Louis, right? I want to know where I rank in terms of my website and how that's coming up. I just had my website redone, and the only service that I have on it right now is my triple optimized website building service, where I build the websites for my clients. So I need to know, excuse me, I need to know when people are looking for website developers, where am I ranking on Google, right? How many different ways are people searching for a web designer? And then where do I rank? So let me go to this, because it'll be easier if I just went and looked at some stats. Let me see if I can go find. So keywords is one of the things I'm tracking. Also my leads. Okay, how many people are landing on my website? How many people are actually taking advantage of one of my offers, either my free online marketing checklist or scheduling a free marketing strategy session? So if your websites are done right, then you should be able to get analytics on all of this stuff. So I'm tracking my website, those who land on my website, how long they stay, and then what my conversion rate is from visitor to lead magnet or opt-in. So that's something that I'm also tracking. And then I'm also tracking, of course, when I have a book strategy session, how many people who book a strategy session with me, how many do I actually talk to? How many of them show up? And then what's the conversion rate for those who show up that I talk to, right? I will tell you, about every 10 people that I do a marketing strategy session with, I'm converting about 2. So my conversion rate is 20%. If we go to what Dr. Myron Golden says about the 4 plays, the 4 boss moves that you can make to improve your business. So those 2 conversions, that 20% conversion equals X amount of dollars for me. Now, I can increase the amount of people that I have coming in as leads, or I can increase my conversion rate. So basically, what you have to understand when you're looking at your numbers is this. If I talk to 10 people and I convert 2, what's happening on those other 8 that I'm not converting? Are they the right people? Okay, if they're the right people, am I saying the wrong thing? Am I not listening enough? If I can just keep talking to 10 people and go from converting 2 to 4, whatever that looks like, I might need to take some more sales training. I might need to improve my offers, or whatever it is. How can I double my conversion rates? Either I double the amount of leads that come in and I keep converting at 20%, or I keep the amount of leads the same and I start converting at 40%. Either way, that's a double. So those are some of the things that I'm tracking when it comes to me growing in the digital marketing space, right? So I'm also tracking the growth of my social media accounts, right? My Local Biz Marketing Pros Facebook page and YouTube channel. Not so much tracking Instagram right now, but YouTube and Facebook, because those are the primary platforms that I'm on. So I'm tracking my subscribers, my views, my average video time, and all of those analytics as well. So everything that I'm tracking primarily, Mark, has to do with engagement and leads right now. I'm trying to get my lead machine humming to the tune of 100 leads per day coming into my funnel from somewhere, and then ultimately converting roughly 20 to 25% of those leads, right? So hopefully that helps. Let's see also, absolutely, you can't do it alone. You will need something or someone always. Yeah, man, we've been created to be interdependent. So if I look at my report that my team provides for me, they give me all of the keywords that we're trying to rank for. And it shows me that, hey, your website is ranked on page 9 for this keyword. It's ranked on page 59 for this keyword. And then from all of that data, I can look and say, okay, which of the keywords do I really, really, really want to go after? Which of the keywords do I want to be on the first page when someone searches for that, right? And I know now that that we released the automated leads machine, that I certainly want to rank for lead gen, but that's not even on the website yet, but it's coming. So those are the things that you have to rank for and track, the things that basically move the needle. And for me, lead gen is what moves the needle. If I can get my leads flow up, then the more leads I get, the more opportunities I get to talk to people. The more opportunities I get to talk to people, the better I could become at closing them. So that to me is what's most important, and that's why I'm focusing all of my study of my analytics and my numbers there. All right, so good question though. Keep them questions coming. Number 5, we're talking 9 tips on growing a successful business. And number 5, be creative. Always be looking for ways to improve your business and make it stand out from the competition. Recognize that you don't know everything and be open to new ideas and different approaches to your business. Now, this is where your boy gets in a little trouble. This is where your boy gets in a little trouble because of my creative genius, right? And I always have to have someone reeling me in, like, nope. My wife just said, man, you about to redo Monetize My Life. And she said, yeah, I'm gonna relaunch it. I really, I believe I have it, everything that I need to do it in a way that we've never done it before. And she said, man, you building something new, that means I'm probably never gonna see you. Right. Because she knows when I get locked in on something, I really, the old me would just binge out and I would just go hard, 48 hours straight building this thing. I was like, nope. I know now based on the existing program where I need to tweak it, it's going to take me about 10 hours to get it together. So basically, I'm just going to block out 2 hours here and there for 10 days, and we'll have it ready for the end of the month. Right? I'm not going to put all that pressure on myself to get myself out of balance like I would in the past. But sometimes that creative energy that you have, it can be a distraction. And this is where self-awareness comes in for me to know that, man, yeah, if you don't get this under control, you'll start a gazillion things and never finish any of them, right? So be creative, always be open. There are many outlets that may lead to additional revenues. Take Amazon, for example. The company started out as a bookseller and grew into an e-commerce giant. Not a lot of people expected that one. Of the major ways that Amazon makes its money is through its web services division. The division did so well that when Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO, the head of Amazon web division was named the new CEO, right? He went e-commerce. Who knew? Who saw it? But being open, being flexible is part of being an entrepreneur, right? You can't be super, super rigid, but at the same time, you can't be too flexible either. So you got to have a good balance there. And that leads us to number 6 of the 9 tips for growing a successful business. Number 6 is stay focused. What does focus stand for? Follow one course until successful, right? Follow one course until successful. The old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, applies here. Just because you open a business doesn't mean you're going to immediately start making money. It takes time to let people know who you are. So stay focused on achieving your short-term goals. It's important. What are the short-range wins? What are the quick wins? What are the easy wins that are going to stack up, right? This is important. Many small business owners don't even see a profit for a few years while they use their revenues to recoup investment costs. This is called being in the red. When you are profitable and make more than you need to spend to cover debts and payroll, this is called being in the black. That being said, if the business is not turning a profit after a substantial period of time, it's worth looking into if there are issues with the product or service, if the market still exists, and other possible issues that might slow or halt a business's growth, right? Stay focused, right? This is this month, as a matter of fact, marks 1 year of me being in the B2B space. And if I have to grade myself on this month, I mean, this first year, it might be somewhere around a C-, right? I had to untangle myself from a lot of things from my past, and that was difficult. And then I had to learn a little bit more about the space. So this first year was a learning process so that I can decide, who do I really want to serve in the small business space? As y'all know, that Local Biz Marketing Pros is a general digital marketing agency. But as Russell Brunson says, the riches are in the niches. So as I learn the industry, I'm learning which businesses do I want to serve the best, and can I do the best job helping them grow and scale, right? So I give myself about a C-. The fact that I am still here, I give myself an A, because I am committed long-term to helping small businesses optimize their online presence and increase their lead flow, particularly those Black-owned businesses and other businesses that serve the urban community where our people congregate. One of the reasons that we are highly incarcerated one of the reasons that we are at the top of the poverty level in the community, in the country, is there's not enough local opportunities, right? So small businesses that serve our communities grew in their capacity to hire people from the community, right? I think that could be of a tremendous benefit to us, and that's what has led me down this path to working in the B2B space. A couple more quick ones, and we've got to run. But number 7 of the 9 tips for growing a successful business: prepare to make sacrifices. The lead up to starting a business is hard work, but after you open your doors, your work has just begun. In many cases, you have to put in more time than you would if you were working for someone else, which may mean spending less time with family and friends to be successful. As they say, entrepreneurs are the only people who will quit working a 9 to 5 so they can work 24/7, right? The adage that there are no weekends and no vacations for business owners might ring true for those who are committed to making their business work. There is nothing wrong with full-time employment, and some business owners underestimate the true cost of the sacrifices that are required to start and maintain and grow a business. Yes, it is hard. And for all of you who see influencers on social media and they make entrepreneurship seem like a cakewalk, let me tell you here, they lying. It is not a cakewalk, especially if you're going from employee mindset to business owner mindset. The biggest transition, the biggest hurdle you have to cross is switching your mentality. An employee puts in 40 hours this week, next week they get a check. An entrepreneur puts in 40 hours this week, next week they got to put in 40 more hours. And they got to put in 40 more hours. And they got to put in 40 more hours. For entrepreneurs, sometimes we run 90 days hard and the revenue doesn't catch up with us until day 91. We get a harvest from the seed that we sowed on day 1. And if no one has ever told you that about entrepreneurship, you go into this thing thinking that you're going to open your business, you're going to launch a product, and you're going to make $1 gazillion, and it don't happen. It crushes a lot of people. Right. Number 8. We're talking 9 tips for growing a successful business. Right. Number 8, provide a great service. Right. There are many successful businesses that forget that providing great customer service is important. If you provide better service for your customers, they'll be more inclined to come to you the next time they need something instead of going to your competition. Service, man, at the core of entrepreneurship is service and problem solving. And when you can solve people's problems with a smile on your face, they're going to always want to do business with you. Number 9, be consistent. Consistency is a key component to making money in business. You have to keep doing what is necessary to be successful day in and day out. This will create long-term positive habits that will help you make money in the long run. So when you understand, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, right? And some of those sacrifices will be tough. You're going to have to stay focused. You're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to understand risk versus reward. You're going to have to analyze your competition. You got to know how to keep detailed records and get organized. Those are the 9 things that you could do to grow your business to be successful. Mark says, congratulations on the success and happy anniversary. Thank you so much, sir. Super excited to continue this journey. I'm learning so much about the B2B space and what small businesses actually need, but more importantly, what small businesses actually mean to this country, right? And I want to help them grow more. Let's see. The 9 to 5 is many people's first joint venture partner, supporting the side hustle to empire. Yes. And Mark, I would tell you that they should. That's the beginning of the transition, is Your employer is not a boss anymore. Your employer is not a job anymore. It's a partner. Now you starting to shift into that business owner mindset. Now you have a different way of seeing things, right? Now this is my partner. This is my funding source. And you have to keep that job long enough for you to really start developing the mindset and the habits of an entrepreneur. Because if you jump out into this thing too fast, you could find yourself in some trouble. So I appreciate you guys all. Next week, we're going to kick it off. Monday, we're going to be talking about the financial habits of running a small business, how to manage your money as a small business. And we got some great interviews lined up for you guys next week as well. So I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now, hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.